super quick, super easy, and super delicious. Let's get started. Okay, let's get started. In my pan, I have got 150 grams of unsalted butter. So I'm going to let that melt, and then we're going to add in some sugar. We're going to add in our dry ingredients, and then we're going to add in our eggs, and then we're going to add in some chocolate, because obviously these are chocolate brownies. So just going to take my spoon, I'm just going to help the butter melt. Do keep your eye on it, you do not want it to burn. So once your butter's melted, you're going to add in your sugar. So in here I've got 75 grams of dark brown sugar, 75 grams of light muscovado, and 150 grams of golden castor sugar. If you don't have the darker sugars, feel free to just use all castor sugar, and if you haven't got golden castor sugar, just use white, it's not a problem. So you want to stir everything together, get that all combined. Have the heat up too high because you don't want the sugar or the butter to catch. Just make sure to break down any lumps of sugar that you might find as you stir. It's perfect. So now we're going to add in our dry ingredients. So our dry ingredients are gluten-free plain flour. We've got 125 grams of that. We've got 75 grams of cocoa powder. We've got 25 grams of raspberry powder, which I know is a bit interesting, and I used that in my last tutorial. So obviously go out and get yourself some raspberry powder. I'll put a link below for where you can get that. I've got a teaspoon of bicarbonate of soda, a quarter of a teaspoon of xanthan gum, and a pinch of salt. I've sifted that all together. So I'm now going to pop that into my saucepan. Give that a really nice stir. It will look really, really dry, and you'll think, oh, this is never going to mix together. That's exactly what you want. You want this dry kind of consistency, and then you're going to add in your eggs, and that's going to lighten everything up, bring it all together. Okay, now that's all mixed, I'm going to take this off the heat and add my eggs. Okay, so I've got 4 eggs, and I'm going to add them in one by one and get them all mixed in individually. As per the last time I did one of these tutorials, crack your eggs into a bowl first, just to make sure you don't get any shell in your mixture, or just to make sure your eggs aren't off. You should see as you start adding your eggs that the mixture starts becoming more velvety and delicious looking, and that's exactly what you want. Just make sure you mix everything really, really well. And now for my final egg. Give it a really good beat, it's a really good workout. So once you've combined everything together and you've had a good arm workout, what you should be left with is a beautiful, dark, glossy batter, which smells divine. And at this point we're going to put in our filling. So I'm using some chocolate chips, but what you can do is use chunks of chocolate, you can use nuts, you can use a combination of chocolate and nuts, you can put dried fruit inside, whatever you want to use. It just needs to come to about 150 grams. So I'm using 150 grams of dark chocolate chips. I'm literally just going to pour those in, stir quickly, just to make sure everything's dispersed. Looks good. Then I'm going to pour it into my tin. So what I've got here is a 25 centimetre square cake tin, which I've lined with foil. Seems a bit weird, I know, but trust me, this is the way to do it. Pour everything in. Look how glossy and delicious that is. Don't waste any. Level everything down just to make sure it cooks evenly. So this is now going to go into our oven, which has been preheating at 190 degrees, which is 170 fan or gas mark 5. That's going to go in for 20 to 25 minutes until the top kind of looks dry and cracked, but there's still a nice hint of wobble inside. So if you put a cake tester in, you are going to get gooey coming out, which is exactly what you want. And don't forget, they do continue to cook as they cool, so you don't want to overcook them and have a really dry brownie. So let's put these in the oven. Okay, so once you've cooked your brownies, you need to leave them to cool out of the oven for about 10 minutes, and then you can turn them out. So this is what you're left with. It looks yummy and it smells good, but it's not quite the finished article yet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut them into sort of brownie squares. So depending on the size that you want, I'm going to go for some little small bite-sized ones. So you just need to cut through. Touch, I've got in here 2 teaspoons of icing sugar and 2 teaspoons of raspberry powder, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take basically a tea strainer, but a small sieve. I'm just going to pop a dusting of this over the top of our brownies. That simple. There you have it. Chocolate and raspberry brownies. So delicious, so yummy, so quick to make. Please have a go. Subscribe to the video and I'll see you next time. Bye.